Hello everyone, welcome back to the Add a Zero Challenge where we try and take a $10,000 bankroll, run it up to $100,000 playing live cash games. This is episode 19. We're doing something a little bit different today. This was a very busy day at Playground, so I actually have a different game structure. The 2-5 players, there was already a game going, there wasn't enough to play, so we played some 1-2 today, and you're going to notice the difference in the game. It plays very different. Obviously, the amount of money we're playing for is different, but the strategy is really interesting because I think the game is kind of loose and wild, and like people are splashing it up. So first ever experience in this challenge on the upswing. The bankroll is starting up at 5,500 today. So yeah, we're gonna play some 1-2. Let's get into the action. First hand of the session. Looking down at Ace of Spades, King of Hearts, beautiful hand. And we have a limp in early position. Raise up to $12. And we get a call on seat 6 and a shove here from seat 7. Now, this is going to be what this game is like. There's a lot of short stacks, right? Rake is definitely a factor when you're playing this small stakes, so you need to play pretty aggressively pre-flop. And so we're going to get this in against seat 7, ace-king against queen 10.
For the vibes?
Running it twice because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much you run it. It doesn't make a difference. So just for fun.
That's next one, though. Yes. No!
First one, not us. We lose 2. We add a few chips. We're up to 375 in buy-ins. Moving on to our next hand.
Good luck, man. It's my turn, though. Let me have this one. Come on.
A7. Now, if you just pause this and take a look, you can see seat 7 has got his stack right behind the white line. What he wanted to do here was go all in blind. But basically, he put like 10 up before, so he couldn't do that yet, which meant the whole table had to go through action before he put in his money. So this was going to be an any 2 spot for him. It was clear that he wanted to do that. So for me, when I look down at a7, that's very far ahead of any 2. So I think the play is for me to limp, right? Limp or small raise, either is fine. Because if one of my opponents wakes up with a big hand, I want to get out of the way with a7. I don't want to gamble against someone else. But against this opponent that's going to be any 2 cards, we definitely do. So I limp in for 10. Thankfully for us, it does fold 2 times. And we're against deuce 3.
You've got one.
It's a good lineup.
One at least, I know. 5. Okay. Oh. GG, man.
Next hand, looking down at ace-queen of diamonds. It's a beautiful hand. Limp in early position. We're going to raise it up to 12. Call from c4. Call on the button. And it looks like 4 ways to the flop. We have queen, queen, jack. We're going to continue betting, I think, 25. We get a call in c4. So we go heads up to the turn with our top trips. Queen of diamonds, we pick up the flush draw to make it even stronger. We continue betting here. Just size for our opponent's stack, basically. Looks like we bet 55. Where's it the 3 of spades? Very simple. The triple barrel. The 1, 2, 3 all in.
I just want to check because of the stream. You're not going to look, right?
Our opponent's deep in the tank. Just got to check.
Because just with the delay, you probably would be able to see my cards. You can take as much time as you need, but you're not going to look, right? If you're going to look, I got to call the clock. If you're not going to look, then I'll take as long as you like. All right.
Ace-queen takes it down. I think it was ace-jack. So a nice chip up there. We got a nice stack going. In for 375. I think I have the coolest piece of poker software you've ever seen today. It is called Hybrid Poker. Brand new piece of poker learning software where you test your score against myself, against Daniel Negreanu, against Bill Perkins, and see how you score against the 3 of us, as well as other poker players as well. But Hybrid Poker learns about you, the player, this is really cool. As Hybrid Poker gets to know you, it's going to tell you what to work on. There's a link to the IQ test down below. Try it for free. I think you'll like it. So try it out. Looking down at ace-5 of diamonds. Beautiful hand. So we get a raise in c7, who's been the action player at this game so far. We've been all against them twice. Raise it up to either 10 or 6. I can't really see there. I think it's 6. We squeeze it up, and we have an all-in for this opponent. This is the opponent that got it in with deuce 3, as you can remember, blind. So I think with ace 5 of diamonds, it's justifiable to give action against this player who's been battling against us. But we get the bad news. Ace 5 is up against ace king. It's a real hand this time, and we are way behind.
That's a good turn. It's empty.
Looking down at the pocket kings, we're going to raise it up to $15 here. Now we just get a call in the small blind, and the flop comes down queen of 5-4. Small blind does not have a very big stack, so they decide to go all in here. We obviously quickly call with the kings, and I believe we're up against pocket jacks. Based on this run out, I win both times, so I think jacks is the hand that they had with the short stack, right? Like basically just going for stop and go here. Worked out for us. We win another pot, stacking it up. So we have a triple straddle here, which means it's 1, 2, 5, 10, 20. The blinds are 10, 20 in this 1-2 game. And we look down at a very tricky hand, pocket twos in the cutoff. What are we going to do here? Now, stacks are a little bit too deep to shove. Like, we're too deep against some people. We don't want to jam in, I don't know how much we have, but like 450 or something. It'd be too many blinds, right? It's basically a tournament stack. So do we even want to raise here in the cutoff with pocket twos? It's kind of tough, I don't think my opponents are going to reshove effectively as much as they should. So I decide to go for the raise to 50, which is a 2.5x over the blinds. I'm very uncomfortable because any aggression is very difficult. We get a call from our opponent in seat 6. Now, we haven't talked about seat 6, but we've been playing all day, and I've been telling seat 6 all day, I'm going to bluff you today. That's what I've been telling him because he's a nice guy. It's fun for the dynamic to basically say, hey, I'm going to bluff you. It's like, it's good banter. It creates an interesting dynamic. It's just all fun and games. He was having a good time. He was ready to play 2-5 actually, and he played 1-2 all day on the stream, which is very cool of him. So this is his last hand. He actually has a rack on the table in the double straddle. We bet on the flop. 55, get a call, and we decide to double barrel the deuces on the turn. He actually does fold a weak king, like a king 5 or something like that. I show the bluff, and the celebration is in.
Card, let's go.
Now, I think this is a fine play with deuces. We're not going to win a showdown when they call the flop. And I think it's also a spot where they're going to have to fold their queen X on the turn, where they don't want to lose their whole stack in the last hand, probably. And we could just have strong hands. So I think barreling on this turn is not just a dynamic play. It's also justifiable to try and get all of their queens to fold. And that felt pretty good. Not going to lie. I did say I was going to bluff him. I bluffed him last hand. It's good banter. I look forward to playing again.
I mean, you can't really compare that. Do you think she likes it more here than...
I think she really likes it here, yeah. I mean, she likes country a little bit more than...
Looking down at ace king, we have a limp, a raise to 10, and a call. We are going to squeeze it up.
But we lived in London for 3 months together. It's a fun place.
And seat 7 is all in.
And it was actually...
Seat 8 calls the all in. So 3-way all in, 64, and there's action on the side against seat 8. Go to a flop of 7, 4, 3. We're going to c-bet into this dry side. Try and get some protection from our hand, basically, with all the overpairs and stuff in our range. Turn is a 6. Really bad turn. Goes check, check. Roos a 5. There's a straight on the board, so what are we going to do here? There's already a ton of money in the middle. Neither of us have an 8. I think we might as well bet here and try and get our opponents to fold a chop, It's like a tough spot for them where they don't want to call off for basically 1/3 of the main pot, probably, and then half of the side pot. They have to be right often that I don't have an 8. So I think if I check, they're going to do it to us often, and the likelihood of them having a straight is very low, so we might as well put them to the spot as opposed to put ourselves in the spot. So we go all in.
On the board.
We chop it up. We chop it up. 8-7 of diamonds. Raise it up to $8. Playing under the gun in this hand.
$8 for you, Moga2.
Playing against friend of the stream, Moga2 in the big blind. But we get a call on C4, a squeeze from seat 6, who as of right now is on his honeymoon. I hope you're having a great time, man. 3-bet to 24, call in seat 8, we call.
Last hand. So when I stack you guys, I'm sorry, but I gotta go.
And a call in C4. We're 4 ways to the flop, but 100 in the middle. We flopped the straight. Now it's the bottom straight, right? We're 4 ways. We're out of position. So already it's kind of interesting as to whether we want to bet or check here. We can be behind King Queen, which is a very reasonable hand for everyone to have, but also we want to start getting value from Jack 10, from Queen Jack, from sets, from all sorts of stuff, right? So I don't hate a lead here. I decided to go for the check, and we get punished by the decision because it checks around and we go turn. Now, turn's amazing. Turn's going to make so many 2 pairs, such a good card where it's almost certain someone has ace king, ace queen, or 2 pairs. We decide to bet 70, 2/3 of the pot here on the turn. Goes fold. The button thinks forever, and he says I fold, which means he folded to like ace queen, probably, or ace king, which is a good fold. And it's frustrating for us. I mean, we flop the straight on a board where it's like, how does no one have anything? It's so sick. And that's it. Top pair open ender. So he folded the ace queen. It's a very good fold with the ace queen. I get it though. I mean, you're bluff catching. I think it is a good fold. And that's it for the episode. So we make a little bit of money there. Yeah. So we made $230. $230 profit on the day. It's pretty good. You know, like 1-2 is where I hung out before I started streaming. Mostly, my home card room was a 1-2 game with a $500 max buy-in. This is kind of like my home base. This is where I've spent most of my thousands of hours of playing live poker is in the 1-2 streets, and it felt very similar. You know, you have a mix of short stacks that are just going to make all-in pre-flop moves and willing to gamble it up with all sorts of hands. And I think the strategy is play snug pre-flop. You need to. You know, the rake is pretty significant, so you can't be mixing it up with 5-8 suited and just like trying to flop flush draws because there's not enough money that you win when you make them. You're not deep enough. And so it's just like play good hands, get it in, and hope it goes well. And it went decent for us today. You know, we lost with the ace-5, but other than that, everything was pretty good. So I enjoy playing 1-2. And if the stream continues at Playground, I'm totally for playing more 1-2 in the future. It obviously is plus EV for the challenge, right? Like it's a game I know for sure that I'm going to be profitable in pretty much every time. And it allows more people to play for a more affordable sort of amount of money. And yeah, it'll slow down the progression to get to 100K, but that's okay. I'm not in a rush. I'm a poker player, man. I'm going to be around. It's okay. So that's it for the episode. I hope you all enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new here. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you later. Goodbye.